Hey everybody, Derek here. Just want to let you know it's another Patreon sneak peek, as they call them, I guess. As I call them. So this is our first adventure into Munsterverse of Madness. Keith found Grandpa's spell for opening the Munsterverse, and we hopped in the back of a Penske moving truck, and we traversed, and we discovered a B-plot that didn't exist. So, give a listen and have some fun, and when you're done, check us out at patreon.com/Munster Hunters. Hello, and welcome to another amazing Patreon episode of the Munster Hunters, the only show that dares to shun whatever exists out there that isn't the Munsters, to simply watch a 60-year-old show about a Frankenstein monster and his grotesque family that's called the Munsters. I am your host, Derek, and I am a Munster Hunter. Joining me at the Frankenstein-headed table that I have adorned, I have festooned with garland simply because it's a Patreon episode, is Keith.
Hello. This is Keith. I am also a Munster Hunter. And Derek, thank you for clarifying that it's the show called The Munsters.
Well, I set it up top, so I had to bring it all the way back around because
that's a callback.
That's what a thorough host would do.
That's right.
And I've read the book. And then that other voice you're hearing on the opposite side of the Munster Hunters Frankenstein-headed table, hoarding the bowl of cashews that I had put out because it is simply a special Patreon episode, is the Dr. Dre of Kansas.
That's right.
Terry.
It is a Patreon episode, but doesn't mean I'm sharing the cashews. These are mine.
I bought them.
They're over here now, so I just love this, salty crunch. Delicious.
Fair enough.
Yep.
How you gents doing?
Doing pretty good, Yeah, like I said. Cashews, I'm all set. I mean, I require, you guys know me, before every show I require 2 pounds of cashews evenly split in half. And if I find one that's not exactly symmetrical, then I walk. But luckily, so far, we've been pretty good. So
I hired a neighborhood kid to split all the cashews.
Well, he's great. He's really great.
But then you put them all back into the same bowl, which Terry then just hoarded, and now no one's good anymore.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, they originally there was a right bowl and a left bowl, like Twixes. And then they got spun around, and I couldn't remember which one was which, and I was like, screw it. Dumped them all in the same bowl, and then Terry took them.
Yep. As is tradition.
Yeah.
As is tradition. Like, however many episodes we are into this, 20.
Oh, 20 so many. We've done
count.
We've done so many, and yet here we are doing something different, as if there wasn't enough to cover with the Munsters.
Oh boy,
we're expanding beyond the realms. If I understand this correctly,
we would light a candle, then we'd take a boat, we'd do all those things, but instead, Keith has pulled up in a Penske moving truck. Has forced us to get into the back of it, and he's going to take us somewhere. So, Keith, tell us what we're doing.
Well, so just so you know, I mean, I guess getting back in the truck, I'll explain. Hold on. The guy starts driving. All right, excellent.
Oh, you're not even driving this thing.
No, I'm not.
So who have you entrusted to drive us?
Don't ask.
Is it that neighborhood kid?
No, I already did ask.
It's the cashew kid. Oh, no.
The cashew kid's driving us around.
Oh, it's
the like 14. I don't even know if he could drive a Penske truck.
So it's the ghost from the mini Munsters.
Oh,
that's worse.
It is way worse.
Yeah, he might eavesdrop later, but
Yeah, we know he's DTF.
What does that mean? Keith, he may eavesdrop. That was exactly what you said, and it's concerning. I think you're going to kill us back here or something like that.
Yeah, well.
No, I hope not.
You hope not. I want to beat you to within an inch of your life.
Yeah.
All right, so
this could be the last Patreon episode. You never hear from us again.
Last episode of Munster Hunters ever. Until next week when Keith Gawla's Munster Hunters come out.
Yeah, the Keith discovered the greatest game is not Munsters, but it's man.
The new Munster Hunters.
It's the Munster Hunters Hunters.
Nah, you know what? I'm sure in a multiverse of things, that probably is a show.
Is it?
I don't know. It possibly could be. But look, every now and then I will stop and I sneak back down into the, and pick up the archive, the almanac. I flip through it. And the other day I found, towards the back, I was looking at the back of it, and there was like some stuff. I kind of peeled back some of the back cover of it, and it revealed a whole little incantation. I can't repeat it. I don't want any of stuff to happen. But
so there's magic in there?
Apparently so.
Must have been
it
some
said,
magic in
it said,
that almanac we had. Or when he peeled off the back and read the incantation.
Yeah, it says Grandpa Munster's multiverse incantation. And it revealed to me that we have a Munsterverse of Madness available to us.
Oh,
I like this.
A multiverse of Munsters.
Yes,
a Munsterverse of Madness.
Yes.
No.
So,
veritable what if of Munsterism.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. With zombies, without, who knows? Anyway, there's been multiple times in the where the three of us have said, "Man, you know what? There's a cool storyline going on here," and then the writers never.
Three of us said that.
At least 2 out of 3 have said it, and then the writers.
3 have said it?
The writers never follow through on that, like that B plot type thing.
That sounds
yes.
right.
There is not a Munsters writer that enjoyed a B plot. Ever.
No. They tease us. They leave something hanging out there, and we're like, "Ooh, I can't wait to find something out." And so we're going to take it on ourselves to travel the Munsterverse and find out exactly what happens on these B plots that we go on.
We're doing that in the back of a Penske truck. Being piloted by a 14-year-old kid that split cashews all day.
Look, there could be people that want to get hold of the power of the Munsterverse, and we can't let them. So we got to keep moving as we do this.
I envisioned, like the walls of reality folding, and we're stretching and squirming our way through the multiverse. But no, we're just driving a truck slowly with the kid. He's kind of swerving on the road. He probably doesn't have his license.
2 years away from getting his driver's license. This is a good kid. Real good kid.
Every once in a while he shouts back, and he's like, so do I slow down on yellow or speed up?" And then
he's still trying to split extra cashews while driving.
Kid.
All right, so let's hear how this episode starts.
Lily, Grandpa and Eddie have the car all loaded up. They're gonna bring it around front.
Marilyn, are you sure you won't be frightened staying here alone?
Oh, of course not, Aunt Lily. How could I be frightened staying in a friendly old house like this?
Come on, everybody.
Shadow Pine Lake, here we come. Come on in, Herman. I'll drive for a while, then you can take over.
Goodbye, Uncle Herman.
Bye, dear.
Goodbye, Aunt Lily.
Don't forget to feed Spot. He's no trouble at all since he learned to open those pet food cans with his fangs.
But dear, keep an eye on him. The last time we left him alone, he ate the grandfather's clock and he ticked for 8 days.
Okay, I'll watch him.
So long, David. Goodbye.
I see.
All right, so from there, we cut back to Marilyn back inside the house. She's looking at a large can of food for Spot when the coffin phone rings. Marilyn tells Spot she'll be right back to feed him, and she goes to answer. Munster's residence. Oh, hi, Jeannie. Study group tonight? Sure, I'm free. My family is out of town. Why not have everyone meet here? Oh, I'm sure they won't mind. It's just going to be a boring night of a group of girls prepping for an exam. Oh, of course. 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Can't miss it. Okay, see you soon. Marilyn hangs up, heads upstairs to get her books, leaving Spot unfed. Fade into the banger. So we come back from the banger. Anybody notice any differences in the opener this time? Anything? No.
Oh yeah.
A little different.
Marilyn winked at the camera this time. I thought that was pretty ominous.
I did see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think instead of the bat pendant, I think Lily was wearing the eye of Agamotto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think she had that around her neck this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That also winked.
I mean, we all know what the Eye of Agamotto is.
Sure. Yeah.
But for those just let's say somebody listening's like Eye of Agamotto. That sounds intriguing. But
There's not an easy Doctor Strange Munsters crossover fandom.
I'm too far away to Google.
Yeah. That would be normally what Doctor Strange would use to turn back time.
Oh, the Time Stone.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think when he has a little eye-shaped thing, it's the Eye of Agamotto.
Oh, I did not realize that piece right there. Okay. All right. So she's Doctor Strange.
Eddie seems a little feral coming down the stairs. But
God, he reminded me of the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that kid's name? Dirk Lucky or
Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it ends the same. I think Lily slaps Herman on the butt as he's giggling and walking out too. But it's and we
this
fade.
is a really strange universe that we're in.
Yeah. We fade
Are you
out.
sure we're not just breathing in like exhaust fumes from this Penske truck? Is there a hole in the back?
It could be. It could be. I'm not saying it's not true, but fade out of the banger. We see the Munster house. It's obviously storming. A little, some lightning, thunder.
The title isn't the Grandpa's Call of the Wild.
No.
Oh, it's not called Grandpa's Call of the Wild.
No.
Marilyn's Life of the Party.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Marilyn's
Unlife.
Marilyn's Unlife of the Party.
Yeah. All right.
Or maybe something more Munsters, like 3 knocks, door opens, Marilyn's party time.
The postman only rings twice. Marilyn's friends ring 3 times. Come on in, let's party.
I think that was the title.
Yep.
Yep. That sounds right.
Yeah, something that's way overcomplicated. For anything. But we then suddenly get 3 knocks at the door. Marilyn goes to answer. She's like, "Oh." She opens up and is several of her friends: Jeannie, Marianne,
Sabrina,
yeah,
and Gabby.
Gabby, yeah.
You know what I appreciate about this universe of the Munsters? There's no messing around. They get right to it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This might be the most focused episode I've ever. Well,
yeah.
Have I seen this? I'm experiencing this as we're speaking. I feel.
Yeah. As we travel the multiverse.
So she opens the door. The young ladies come in, and as she goes to close the door, a hand pops up, holds the door open, and it is some of the guys have also come along.
Oh, yeah.
Jeannie spread the word that Marilyn had the house to herself, and so she invited her boyfriend Dirk, his friend Bentley. They're the two twin brothers, Andy and Reed.
I think
I need a piece of paper and a pen. I don't know if I'm gonna.
Yeah, I've already forgotten all the names other than Dirk and Bentley and Andy and Reed.
There's a Gabby, I think,
and Marshawn.
And Marshawn. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And so they're like, "Hey, we just came along to help you ladies stay relaxed while you study." And one of them kind of he points. He's got a brown bag with him.
Yeah, but Marshawn, when he came in, he goes, "I sure hope there's no nerds in here."
Mm-hmm. and
then the crow pops out and goes, "Nevermore," and then
Nevermore, yeah.
And Marshawn means like, "I like that bird."
Mm-hmm. Oh, that bird's no nerd. He's not a nerd.
He's before he said like that, he's like, "What do you say?" He goes, "Never nerd."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a cool hat on because it's a multiverse. So
Marshawn does. Yeah.
No, the bird.
Oh well, Marshawn. Well, let's not forget Marshawn's hat because it is like
it's made of Skittles.
It's made of Skittles. Yes, Candy of the Future fused to his head. And it's the only thing in this episode that's in color. Go figure.
Well, yeah, you can't uncolor the rainbow, so
never.
So there we go. The boyfriends enter in, and Marilyn, she seems a little bothered by this at first, but Jeannie comes over and is like, "Oh no, they're just come to hang out. They're really good, sweet guys. Don't worry about them at all."
Well, Marilyn was really worried here because she doesn't have any food in the house. Like the Munsters, they packed up everything they had to go camping.
Yeah, they didn't do any major grocery shopping they're out of vulture eggs, and those ones that are in the backyard haven't actually hatched anything yet.
Yeah.
For this week.
So she's really concerned. So Jeannie gets Marianne, Lulubelle, Sabrina, Bentley, Andy, and Reed, and we'll leave Marshawn here. And she says, "Here's $10. Go get some food." So they're like, "All right," and they leave. So that leaves us with who?
I kind of wish Marshawn would stay. I liked him.
Marshawn's staying for sure.
No,
he's got a cool hat and he doesn't like nerds.
He's got Skittles.
We got Marilyn. We got Jeannie. We got Bentley stayed. Dirk left.
Dirk and Bentley and Marshawn are here.
Dirk, Bentley, Marshawn, Marilyn, Jeannie, and Sabrina. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Those are the only ones that stuck around. Well, the rest of them went to go get some food from down the street someplace.
Am I sensing a what is it? A multiverse of the multiverse where we follow those characters?
Oh God, no! Oh no! We can't. This van is on rent. We can't do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have the budget for more than for an hour. I hope Derek started the timer.
I did.
Oh, perfect! Right when the car started driving. Excellent. So they send them out, and Marilyn decides that she's like, all right, well, she leads everyone into the living room to kind of sit down. She does run. She decides she's going to go into the kitchen though to grab something to grab a couple waters for everybody who's there while they're waiting. And she sees the can of Spot's food. She's like, oh, I got to remember, I got to feed Spot. But let me take these waters out. And then so she gets distracted again, so Spot's still not being fed.
Oh yeah, she turns on the faucet for the water, and it's like piping hot, because that's how the Munsters do it.
Yes.
And she has to get it just the right temperature where it's like steaming the kettle, and then she pours it. Yep, and then brings it back.
Yeah, they're like, why is all the water look like it's like got smoke rising out of it? So she explains it's the pipes. It's just the way the house is.
Sure, you don't
because it's nothing weird to her. So like anytime they think something's weird, she's just like, well, this this is just our house, and this is the quirks of the house. It's no big deal.
And she's very reasonable, and they go with it, because Marilyn, she's just a very reasonable person. She's easy to get along with, very happy, and she explains the situation very well.
Yeah. And she's always eager to please, though, right? She wants to do right by her friends. She wants to do right by the Munsters. And that's what when she catches Marshawn, like taking things off the mantle and throwing it to Bentley like it's a football.
Yeah,
he's like, whoa! That's my grandpa's antique shrunken head, right? And then she runs over and grabs it. Marshawn's like, what's the big deal? It's a weird little thing, throws good. It's got good aerodynamics.
He puts that down. He picks up a little Frankenstein toy robot. Is about to throw that, and Marilyn's like, no. My uncle he'll throw a fit if that thing gets broken.
That's my cousin, she says, and she grabs it.
Yeah, jokingly laughs a bit, and then
and everyone just stares at her.
Yeah,
they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a long story.
Yeah. So then Dirk, he says he's got to use the bathroom. Marilyn tells him go out, go up the stairs, bathroom top of the stairs, and as he leaves the room. He goes like kind of swing himself up onto the stairs by like grabbing the banister, like the top of the banister. It pulls forward.
Yep.
It opens up, and when he swings up, he falls right in, and we see Spot's eyes just light up. And then the thing closes, and we kind of hear him yell, but then you get somebody else going. Jeannie goes, did you guys just hear something? Marilyn's like, I don't think so. That's probably just the wind. It gets a little drafty around here. Let's get back to the studying thing. And she's trying to she's constantly always trying to direct them back to what they were supposed to be there for.
Yeah.
Which is
meanwhile, one of the members of the party is now missing.
Well, I mean, he's only been gone for a few seconds, right?
Yeah.
Jason's scene. He's going to the bathroom. I don't think anybody expected him, and I don't think he didn't really say, I need to go use the bathroom. That's very uncouth for the time.
Yeah, you gotta be more cool about it. Be like,
I believe he said, I have a powerful urge to eliminate my bowels. And I was like, wow, I didn't expect him to say that at all.
but there's more truth back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My grandpa would always say that when he'd go and use the restroom.
I have a powerful urge to eliminate my bowels.
Yeah.
Oh man, your grandpa sounds cool.
Yeah, he was not a nerd. He was really cool.
No, and that was Dirk that did this?
Yep, Dirk did that.
Yeah, and when he left, what's his name? Marshawn, he's like, that sounds like nerd talk. That's exactly what he said.
And now he's juggling. He's juggling like 3 vases full of spiders that he found. Yeah.
Yeah. Marshawn seems to be a troublemaker. And troublemakers.
He seems like a troublemaker. Yeah. The Munster phone rings. Marilyn goes back. She picks it up. It's Andy and Reed and the others. Andy and Reed. They are having some car trouble, so it's going to be a little bit longer for them to pick up the food and get back. But they'll be back in a little while.
Wow, where are they calling from? I wonder.
I don't know.
It's one of those things where I wish they'd show the other end, because if they're having car trouble, it means they're broken down. This is pre-cell phone time, so
I imagine they're broken down someplace in town when they stop to get some food. Maybe they tire or something like that. They don't seem to go into much detail. We don't really hear Marilyn's half of it, and then she comes back and explains it to everybody.
I thought I heard like a wolf howl on the other end.
I picture him in like some old broken down gas station in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
in the middle of nowhere, Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah. She's like, well, she comes back in. She explains what the problem is. They're going to be a little bit longer. She's like, but I don't know, Mary Lou and Peggy, so they're going to have to wait, and they're going to study on their own, because we got to get studying. We got to keep moving along with this. Otherwise, we're not going to get anything done tonight. Yeah.
And what I appreciate about this version of the Munsterverse too is they still took the effort to explain what just happened in the previous scene.
Yep. They did.
Yeah, Marilyn comes in and said, I was just on the phone with Andy and Reed, and they broke down. So they said to study without him, because who knows when they'll get back. Dirk was upset because it was his car. He's like, my convertible.
My convertible.
Yeah.
Well, what? It's his convertible. I wouldn't let anybody take that for a drive. I would have made sure I was driving. It was my car.
Well, Dirk was probably a little drunk when he got there.
They had 9 people in the convertible. Getting over there, they probably could have used a nice van like we have, but no, nonetheless, they didn't. Jeannie, then she's like, has anybody seen Bentley for a while? Does he come back down? I hope he's doing okay. Marilyn's like, no, it's a big house. He probably just looking around as well. And
Bentley was wandering off doing something else. And Dirk was the one who got trapped, right?
Yeah. Yes, my bad.
No, you're good. Because Bentley went upstairs because he just he's kind of a nosy guy. He's like looking through all the records and stuff, and he's seeing stuff like he's digging through Grandpa's old war chest full of weird objects, and it's like, what's this spigot do? What is this? It's a stuffed bat. Oh, this is from the Alamo. That's weird.
Napoleon's hat, all sorts of weird things in there.
Yeah, but
the first flag landed on the moon, which
in the future,
somehow
5 years in the future. So
it does on a note on there saying moonbound.
Yes, property of what's his face? Who filmed the moon landing?
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, property of Stanley Kubrick.
No, I like the fact that that's a whole thing like that, but there's like a note. Dear Stanley, I think this will work perfect for what you're doing. Grandpa. Even though it's not his grandpa, it still says grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, Stanley Kubrick will know who that
is. The world's
grandpa. Yeah.
And he might be. He's hundreds of years old. He has many wives.
Oh, yeah.
He could be the world's grandpa. Like, once you go back so many generations, everyone's related, so I wonder how far.
That's true. Well, and like we always like to say on this podcast, everybody's got a little bit of grandpa in them. Everybody.
We have always said that. That's how we sign off.
Yeah, that's our top sign off. Yeah. Marilyn, then, she remembers that she still has to feed Spot. And so she tells everyone, hey, I have to go feed our pet, Spot. I'm going to go do that, and then I'll be right back. And she walks in there. she's just getting ready to like get the can in place to like get the spot when she hears like a scream come back from the other room.
From back when she came?
Yeah, from back in the room where she was just at, where everybody's at.
Prior?
Like, like she goes in the kitchen, she's trying to get the can together. All of a sudden, she hears a scream, and so she has to leave the can of food there yet again.
Yeah. Well, you see, she goes back and she sees that Jeannie's trying to start the fire in the place, and it just bursts into like a massive inferno. The table's caught on fire. Her shoe's probably on fire. You know, she's trying to stomp it out. Marshawn
refused it. He refuses to put the Skittle hat on it, even though he's closer to her feet.
Yes, he's very protective about that.
Yeah, he's like, no, nothing's gonna happen to this thing. By the way, I did forget to mention when Marilyn was in the back, she's getting the can of food ready. She had opened up like the side door to the area where like Spot's at, so she could put the food in there. And she left the door open because she ran back in to see what all the commotion was about.
And then there's the inferno, but we see a shadow moving around in the background. Like maybe old Spot. Maybe he's on the hunt now.
Yeah, the light from the fire kind of lights up something that we're able to somehow see an outline of him. But everybody else is turned looking the other direction at it, so they don't see it moving around in the background.
No, but they hear the scurry. It's like.
Yeah, and they're like, "What was that?" And Marilyn's like,
huh?
Yeah.
From the other side of the room. Yep.
We cut it upstairs where Bentley is. He's kind of going room by room, just checking things out. Except Eddie's room, he can't get that open.
Lucky him.
He sticks his head in through the little dog door thing. He's like, but the lights are off, so he can't see anything going on in there. Because it's dark and all.
There, he sticks his head in. It's darkness, and then we cut back down to Marilyn.
Yep. And Marilyn she's just put out the flames. She's calmed everyone back down. She's opened up another page in the book that they're supposed to be studying from.
Yep.
Trigonometry, I believe.
Yeah, and they're really kind of like losing the focus overall here now that this stuff has happened. But Marilyn's getting them to calm back down by helping them focus on one specific thing.
And Marshawn complains about being hungry.
He does. He does.
Sorry, they'll be back as soon as they can.
I say Sabrina, she goes running upstairs to go get like some gauze and stuff like that, something out of the bathroom. Marilyn's like, yeah, if you go upstairs to the bathroom where Dirk should be, this first aid kit, go run upstairs, grab it. I'll keep an eye on everybody here. I think mostly she's worried about Marshawn stealing like the trunken head.
Yeah, I mean, Marshawn, he's just vamping with his hat. He's really like showing off at this point.
Yeah. He's sitting there. He's like, he'll pose. And you see him, and like, he gets a laugh from the canned laughter. And he poses again, turns their way, but he tips his hat and gets a canned laugh. I'm like, what is so funny? But then he does like this turn. He looks over his shoulder at Marilyn and winks. Marilyn's like, I'm going to go check on everybody else.
And Marshawn does not care about anything else that's been happening. People have been kind of slowly disappearing from the room.
He probably didn't even realize what's been going on because he's got that Skittles hat and he hates nerds.
And the audience goes, ooh, and he winks at Marilyn, but Marilyn's not having it yet.
No, she's like, at least he's not getting really close to me to talk to me.
Marshawn's respectful about the distance.
Yeah, he respects boundaries. He's just a weirdo nerd jerk.
Yeah. So Sabrina runs upstairs to go get some stuff for Jeannie, some gauze stuff to things to clear up the burns. She gets up there and she looks over and she's like, why is Bentley laying on the floor with his head in the doggy door? And then
Bentley pulls his head out and goes, oh, thank God. I was so worried.
He'd fallen asleep.
I'd fallen asleep. It's so dark in there. The oxygen was just put me out.
Well, it's like the endless night, It's like just so comforting, that darkness sometimes. You just get sucked into it. I
couldn't see anything, but I'm covered in cobwebs, so it's so strange.
There's like a little spider scurrying in his hair.
Yeah.
And the laugh track, of course, they thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. But then we hear the
and they look around. Sabrina's like, Jeannie got caught on fire. I'm gonna run these things back down. And Bentley's like, yeah, I'll be right back down. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick because I don't know, I got a lot of dirt on my head after sticking in that room.
But then you hear
Sabrina runs down the stairs. Bentley goes walking into the bathroom, and but when he goes to close the door, it doesn't close. He turns around, and we see like a look of like shock on his face, and it cuts back down to Marilyn and everyone in the room.
We hear a little like rumbling upstairs, but they can't hear it over now. Marchand, he started playing some music, so it's a little louder. So it's harder to focus and hear. And Marilyn's starting to get a little upset because she thought this was supposed to be a study thing, but it seems that Marchand is not focusing.
And she's like, damn, Marchand, we're trying to take care of somebody who got injured here. I had to put out the fire. You wouldn't even help with that. Like, Marilyn is normally very nice, easygoing. She's actually getting a little pissy at this point.
Yeah, but there's Marchand. He's got the record player going, and they can only license, they couldn't license like real music, so they had to do public domain. Mm-hmm. So of course it's everyone's favorite Camptown Races. He's just jamming out to Camptown Races.
He's clapping along.
He's doing a lip sync to it.
He is.
Yeah, and he's trying to get the ladies back involved. He's like, look, Dirk and Bentley disappeared. These ladies are all mine. I'm a woo one of them here. Mm-hmm. None of them want anything to do because they're all trying to like help Jeannie.
And that rainbow hat is so gaudy.
It is. Plus they're all glued. The Skittles are glued on there, so it's not like you can pop them off and eat a few while you're there.
They don't even know what Skittles are. That's the thing.
Maybe they do in this version.
Well, that could be.
Yeah,
I barely know what Skittles are.
It's kind of weird because as we've been watching, that hat has gotten a little bit brighter and a little more colorful each time it cuts to it. Like it's like spreading that color out, but onto the set of everything else. It's a little weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, that's just the fumes getting to you, I think.
Oh,
back of the truck, yeah. I haven't noticed, but maybe the fumes are getting to me because I haven't noticed that. I know it's got bright colors, but so at this point, the ladies are trying to get, they're trying to, help Jeannie with her wound. Marilyn again, she's like, she's going to run back
in this episode that they spend so much time dealing with that wound. They're like, let's clean it. They're like, do you have iodine? Oh yeah, hold on a second. Mm-hmm. So they're just like cleaning and dressing this wound, making sure.
Yeah, Marilyn decides she has to go get. She's got to go get like a rag with some water and stuff to help, wipe it down. And so she goes back into the kitchen, and then she's realized that the door is open.
Mm-hmm. And what?
At this point in time, she's now realized that Spot is on the loose, and that can of food he did not open himself.
This is my favorite part because a skeleton, a human skeleton, comes falling out of the doorway, and it's like, was that Dirk? Was that just there? Because it's the Munsters' house. I wouldn't put it past him to have some skeletons hanging there.
Skeleton. Yeah. But then I love Marilyn. She goes, "Is anybody out there? Hello?" And then in comes Kitty, and Kitty burps, and you're like, okay. Mm-hmm. She picks up Kitty and closes the door, and then
and Kitty also stops and kind of like is like hacks a bit, and it's like, oh, this would be like a furball thing, but all of a sudden spits up the flask that Dirk had with him earlier, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? Like, how did she get that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a great effect too. Like, it was all in one shot. Like, I don't know how they did that.
It was clearly a puppet. You could see that there was some puppetry going on.
The flask was puppetry? Yes, absolutely. The cat, 100%
Kitty was,
normal.
well, yeah, of course the flask was a puppet. You could see the strings. But I mean, Kitty was clearly a puppet too.
Mm-hmm. But now Marilyn's realized that Spot has gotten loose throughout the house. Her first thought is, oh, we just replaced the grandfather clock.
Oh, and that's gone. She looks directly towards it. The first thing she looks at, it's gone.
When did we replace the grandfather clock?
Well, last time Spot got out and got hungry.
Oh,
yeah, and it ticked for weeks. And she's like, "Oh no, not the grandfather clock!" Mm-hmm. And she looks over. I think when she looks over, it's still there, but like she's like, but she can see like some footprints, and she's like, "Oh no!" And then she's like, "Wait a minute, we haven't seen Dirk or Bentley in a while."
What kind of footprints are they? I didn't notice.
Some sort of like a dinosaur type thing, maybe a Stegosaurus or a T-Rex from another TV show type show or something. I don't know.
T-Rex from another TV show.
I don't know. It looks like some large footprints of maybe even a dragon. Maybe even a dragon. I don't know.
What's the other TV show?
I forget.
Land of the Lost?
Whatever they claim Spot was pieces of stuff from different shows. I don't know. Never mind.
Oh.
Just ignore that part.
clock is really
I thought there was something cool there we were going to do. Okay.
Yeah. The clock does have some slobber on it, and we see some steps that you can clearly tell are some sort of a monstrous type thing, maybe a dinosaur or a dragon.
Yeah, it's from a prehistoric planet. Because this is a remake, this new show that's coming out. Of that old one. And I don't want to get into it. I mean, it's kind of boring, but it's just a classic dinosaur thing that happened back then.
Classic dinosaur thing.
But you can also tell that they're going up the stairs to where she knows that Dirk went to go use the bathroom, and Bentley had gone up there with him and was rummaging around. She knows that they're up there, and she's like, "Oh no, Spot went upstairs."
I'll tell you what, if these kids would have wore their Fitbits, they'd be getting all kinds of stair climbing achievements.
They get their steps in for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stairs in the house there.
A lot of up and down.
So Marilyn starts to go up. She goes upstairs to she's got to go find Spot, and she's very quietly whispering Spot, here boy, come here, Spot. So she's trying to find.
You hear that little noise in the back
without letting. I
can't really do it. You hear that every once in a while.
Man, that's such a talent you have for mimicking that.
Making scurry noises? Yeah, that's my...
Yeah, well, it's specifically a dinosaur dragon tail.
Well, you assume. Well, you don't know what it is until the end.
Sure. And so she's up there and she's looking around, and she finds the bathroom door wide open. Bentley's trucker hat's laying on the ground. Slobber all over it as well. Sure, why not? You seem like the type of guy who wear a trucker hat. But she sees it's got more slobber all over it. She sees what looks like could be maybe like a blood stain or something like that, but she can't tell for sure. And she continues to go on. Meanwhile, cut back down. Marshawn is now sitting on the couch. He has Jeannie sitting next to him on one side, Sabrina on the other, and he's just telling them tales of his life.
Yeah, it's almost like a comedy routine. It feels like maybe they hired this guy to just do some bits, and so he's just kind of telling all his classic jokes. But more, it's almost reminds me of the Dr. Dudley, but way better. Marshawn's way better than Dr. Dudley.
Yeah, and
Marshawn's got a cool hat. He hates nerds.
It doesn't lose his glasses because he doesn't have them.
Oh yeah.
You know what? The easiest way, I've always said this my entire life. The easiest way to not lose your glasses.
Yeah.
You don't have glasses.
Oh man. I don't know why I've never thought of this. Man, I'm gonna stop immediately.
Yeah, and Jeannie, she starts to say something about her leg, which is still got some burns on it. She doesn't look like she's doing very well with that either. And Marshawn's like, that reminds me of the time when
you gotta follow through with that, Keith. You can't just
oh man.
You think that wound's bad?
You think that wound's bad? You should have seen what happened to Reed at the last bonfire we had.
And what I like about this universe is it actually cuts to show what happened.
Yep. Because
it cuts
by this
to
time
show,
we've all forgotten who Reed was. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And they just show Reed laying in the fire and he's screaming.
Yeah. He's pouring gasoline. Yeah, he falls in, and then boom. Yeah.
And then he's up and running around until he falls over. He's still perfectly fine when we see him. No, not a single scar on him.
Yeah. It's great stunt work, honestly.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a man on fire run around like that.
I love when a stunt team does a man on fire trick.
Oh yeah. It just looks awesome.
It does.
And then from there, though, we finally hear a louder noise from Spot. Something loud enough that Marshawn actually even notices that things are going on all of a sudden.
He goes keep it down. I'm trying to speak. So he said.
He's
not Marshawn.
Yeah, he's still not concerned with the fact that it sounds like something ominous is coming his way. Still, he wants to continue to tell his tale because it's how he saved Reed also when Reed got on fire, and he ensures Jeannie he's going to save her as well.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, he's found a bowl of strange rock-looking crawly things, and he's just popping them in his mouth.
Yeah, he thinks they're great. Cut back to Marilyn. She's now heading down the front stairs, and she's still kind of whispering for Spot. She's hoping to find him. Being as large as he is, it's amazing that she can't find him yet. She notices that the stairs are a bit ajar, little trap door in the stairs are a bit ajar.
Oh yeah. And this is my second favorite part of the episode. She opens up she looks in there, and another human skeleton pops out.
It does, and she's not sure what to think because again, she can't tell who it is.
Oh well, except for his cowboy hat.
Can't tell by the skeleton who her friends are.
Yeah, yeah. I mean he's wearing a weird belt buckle around it, but that she didn't remember if Dirk or Bentley had a belt buckle on. Yeah,
but then we see the cat come by again, and it's like it burps and spits up some sort of like watch or something.
Yeah, and she's like, Kitty, what can you get? And she ignores that, and she's like, Kitty, I'm trying to find spots. Like, quit getting in my way, like walking, underfoot and stuff like that. I've got to find spots.
As cats would do.
Yeah, as cats would do. Kitty then roars at her and meanders on his way into the living room, where Jeannie is passed out now from the pain of her leg. Sabrina has moved over to is sitting in Grandpa's. Grandpa's chair isn't there because they took it with. She is sitting over by the checkerboard though. They're standing next to it because the checker pieces keep moving, so she's playing against the Invisible Man. She's just thinking it's some kind of weird trick. And the cat comes in, Kitty comes in, Marshawn sees it, and suddenly he freaks the fuck out. He is scared to death of cats.
Yeah.
And this sends him, like, Marshawn quickly gets up after all this, and he runs to the front door, and like quickly, like when Herman will run and like smash through the door, Marshawn runs, but he hits the door, and it doesn't do it. He just drops like a rock. It just falls like flat back on there because he doesn't have the powers to like warp everything like Herman does. So it's a very solid door overall.
Yeah, and it's kind of a sad moment because like when he falls, his head of Skittles just like shatters and it starts rolling all across, and it goes in slow motion, like as if it's kind of a tragic moment because we've never seen Marshawn kind of get rattled like this before.
Yeah, and also, so he's a little woozy at this point. Marilyn had since walked back into the other room, but that she had left the trap door open, and Marshawn, we get a view from him, and his eyes are kind of going a little, like, he's getting ready to pass out, and we see spots start to come out of the thing before it cuts to black, and then comes back from, obviously, what would have been like a commercial break of some sort.
Is that the first commercial break?
I skipped over the previous.
We're only 10 minutes into this.
I skipped over the previous commercial break, but yeah, that would be the commercial break there. We come back from the commercial. Marshawn he's sitting, he's laying on the couch. His head is nicely wrapped up, and he opens his eyes. And he's like, "Oh, what's, where am I? What's going on?" Because he's, he thinks he had a concussion or something like that. He opens his eyes. Herman and Lily are looking down at him. Young man, you've been out cold for 3 days. All your friends went home already.
That's true.
And Marshawn's like, he's like a dragon, dinosaur like thing, and they just kind of brush it off. They're like, "What? What are you talking about?" He goes, "It was going to eat me," and they're like, "What? No, not at all. Nothing. What are you talking about? Spot would never do anything." He's like, "What? Spot?" And Marilyn comes in, and she's like, "Oh." She's apologizing as well for the door. She's being very nice, saying, "This is the door's fault that you fell down." She's holding the Skittles hat that she's painstakingly put back together over the last 3 days.
Oh yeah, and it's like more vibrant than ever. Yeah, it's just it's a really glorious sight because it really represents Marshawn's confidence, and I think like just seeing that back in its full glory, it almost brought me to tears. I really like that part.
Yeah. And then when Herman goes, "Wow, she fixed his hat." Credits. They even in this universe, they end on a stellar joke. Stellar joke.
Yeah.
So good.
So that was Marilyn's...
the postman rings twice.
The postman rings twice.
Ring 3 times.
Yeah.
Let's have a party, I believe is what it was called.
What did you guys... hold on. He's going to pull back around to the main... Munster Hunter Studios. The compound. He'll hold on. What? No. The passcode is. I told you that already.
Yeah, Keith, don't share that on the Patreon.
Okay. Yeah, we'll change it later.
You have to bleep that, Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bleep that out. That's okay.
Yeah, or maybe beep right
Yeah,
over
that's
it.
what a bleep is.
Something like that.
I played that.
All right. Sorry, I thought you meant like you would cut just delete it out. I'm sorry. Never mind.
That's all right.
Look, we know I don't do a lot of editing.
We were on the same page. We both knew. Yeah.
If you listen to my other projects, you know I don't do a lot of editing. Anyway, it's.
Yeah. So we're back at the compound. We have to go through the decontamination process.
While we're doing that, what did you guys think of the Munsterverse of Madness Volume 1, Episode 1? The postman rings twice. Marilyn's friend rings 3 times. Let's have a party.
Well, I'll tell you what, I loved it. There was so much stuff going on this episode, and it rings true to traditional Munsterisms because it's just convoluted at times. But they spent the time to do stuff and tell us about it, and I love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Marilyn's Spot hanging out. I mean, when's that ever really going to happen?
It really wasn't Marilyn's Spot hanging out, though, was it?
Because Marshawn on screen.
Yeah, they never were really on screen at the same time. Maybe once.
Not once.
But...
I mean, what's the chances of us ever getting like a Munsters episode where just the hat is in color?
That was the best part. I don't think we're going to get that.
No.
The only missed opportunity I would say this entire episode, the only thing I wish would have happened is if Herman would have put the hat on, because I love it when Herman gets a cool new outfit. And if he would have started picking up on Marshawn's style, I think, I would love Herman like 10 times more.
Herman and Marshawn hanging out would have been a good episode, too.
Yes. Yeah.
If Herman would have put the hat on and been like, oh, man, the I fixed the hat closing line, like something like cool where like he had like, does he mind if he,
or neat?
I mean, but even like, does he mind if he keeps the hat or like
his eyes open wide? And he's like, I see now, and then like the colors are like shining into his eyes. Yeah.
Oh no! Herman takes a hold of the hat and all the colors fade.
Wilts. That'd be more of a like
they all fade away to black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and fall back apart again. Oops.
And then that'd be like more of like a tragic ending. I don't know if I could take it, honestly. I've seen that hat that get destroyed once.
Endings of the Munsters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it when he goes, "You fixed the hat," and then
credits.
Derek, in this episode, what would have broken the babysitter?
Oh, I think what would have broke the babysitter is when Andy and Reed and Andy, Reed. Who else was in that car? Marianne,
Peggy Sue,
Candace. When they were off to get food and they called back to say the car broke down, we don't have food. And then when Marilyn came back and said, hey guys, the car broke down, there's no food, the babysitter's sitting there going like, we could hear your conversation, you're right there, we knew what happened. And the babysitter's just like, oh man, every week we do this. And then she pulls out her hair and goes, and just runs out the front door.
Terry, what about you? What do you think would have broken the babysitter in this?
I think, I think what would have broken her is when, like 20 people started coming into the house and like she's like, I wasn't ready for this, I'm not ready to prepare for this kind of thing. It's like when, like Bobby Joe and, Alan and Grant and like, Lily and
Alan and Grant, Malcolm and
Warner.
Yeah.
Look, they're all we remember them now, but I think that really broke her because she was like, that's too. She doesn't like having like a big group, She kind of likes she's not a big party person. She it wears her out, and I think that she just kind of was like, I just can't take this, and she just jumped out the window, and not the second story. She just jumped out the first story. Broke the window, went sprinting down, climbing up a tree, and she went to the tree house, and that's where she was going to hang out.
They have a tree house? Oh, nice.
Well, in this universe.
Yeah.
In this universe. Mm-hmm. And I really wish we would have talked about this when it happened, when Alan and Grant and Mary Lou were sitting there, and Mary Lou was like, veggie sore? And they're like, yes, veggie sore. And then Spot ate them. I love that part.
I love that when he was like, when Spot came up like right behind him, he's like, clever girl. And then
just like exhaled on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, the part that would have broken the babysitter is when she walks up and she sees Bentley's body laying there, and she kicks it a couple times and realizes there's no head, and then she turns and walks away. And when she comes back, she does the whole same thing, and his head pops out. He's like, "Whoa, sorry, I fell asleep. I got stuck there."
Yeah, but through the miracle of editing, the first one never happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Editing broke the
I think what broke the babysitter is she realized there's editing in an episode that I lead.
Well, it's still downloaded to my computer. I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah. All right. But yeah. Anyway, that is. Hopefully, this is only the first of
only the first. Yes.
Of a few. Hopefully, people here on the Patreon have enjoyed this, but it's the Munsterverse of Madness, and I got a couple other little B plot things that we've noticed over the time, the episodes we've watched so far. We can dip back into at some point.
There's an infinite possibility. Oh yeah. Infinite possibility of Munsters.
Yeah, we're eventually gonna have to do the thing of finding out what happened to Andy and Reed and the girls when they went to go get food.
Oh, yeah.
I know, that's true. And you never know. I mean, if we can get the neighborhood teen to drive us around again and he goes the same path, we might go down this multiverse again, but just a different branch of it. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Just a different version where Alan and Grant and Malcolm are there to confirm that the Munster house is safe for visitors.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to turn on the electric fence before anything bad happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, that's it.
Wires. Yep.
Back to you, Derek, in the studio.
Oh, Christ. I got to do something now. I hadn't planned on that.
Yeah. Terry, do you got anything you mentioned?
I don't think we had to do plugs on Patreon.
Oh, I didn't remember if we did last time or not.
I don't think we did.
No? All right, well, you can.
Thanks for listening, Patreon people.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we don't need any silly plugs. You guys.
You're all the plugs we need.
You guys get in the Patreon so you don't have to hear about Terry's side project.
That's right.
Or how Derek has nothing else going on.
Well, I mean, it's just what it is. I got this. That's about it.
Well, I mean, we're busy, scouring the multiverse and diving deep into the pits of hell and whatnot.
Yeah.
And of course, worshiping at the altar of the tome. But
yeah. Also, I think in the multiverse, somebody has approached Derek, said the 3 words to him, and he's had a hand out of Dr. Pepper. Also,
probably.
The first and only Munster podcast to do that. I just find it so funny. All right. Okay. Yeah. Hey, great. You know what? Now that we've decontaminated, and we're all just sitting here in our boxer shorts around the fire.
Yep.
Here at the Munster compound, waiting for our skin to grow back. That's one of the terrible things about going to the multiverse. Mm-hmm. You lose your skin on re-entry.
Yeah, it seems harsh, but it's worth it, honestly.
Totally worth it. Man,
the decontamination burns a lot more, though.
Yeah, the re-entry removes 1 layer of skin. The decontamination removes there 6. Mm-hmm. Now, if you would tell me before we started that, you will do this, but you'll lose all 7 layers of skin, I'd be like, it's the price you have to pay. It's the price you have to pay.
Mm-hmm. It's like Terminator. Flesh just can't make it through, so...
Yes. Yep.
Or wait, no, that's not how Terminator
That's the only thing they can't make it through is flesh. Our clothes came through no problem.
Yeah.
But we were skeletonized.
It's the opposite of Terminator, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But, I mean, time travel, multidimensional travel, it's 2 different things. Almost opposites, I'd say.
Yeah, almost opposites. Yet it's opposite sides of the same coin, I think.
Yes, I would say so.
All right, man. That was the multiverse of the Munsterverse of Madness? The multiverse of Munster Madness? What are we calling it?
The Munsterverse of Madness? I thought it was the mom. M-O-M. Mom.
Mom, huh? All right. That was in the inaugural trip through Mom.
Oh.
We all got all up inside Mom, and we found out what was going on. We were like, in, out, Mom, yes. Mm-hmm. And then we finished up.
I'm sorry, Harry.
Well, you know what? We need to go talk to our marketing team real quick. So, guys, I think we should get going.
Sorry to make you do more editing, Derek. We had Jeannie.
Hell if I know. I don't remember.
Gabby, Sabrina.
So one of the big rules of being on stage or doing improv, keep it simple.
Well,
Way too much going on. I don't remember anything.
I did with the guys' names. Because I can
There's
remember
still
all those
5 of them though.
ones.
We gotta keep track of 10 characters plus Marilyn.
Most Munsters don't have 10 characters.
Look,
No,
they
have the Munsters and a guest star.
Yeah, well, I'm sure some of these people they'll disappear easily in the house.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's true.
Yeah.
Every horror movie has.
In fact, I think one of them already has because I can't remember her name. So Marilyn. Marilyn looks.
What names do you remember?
Jeannie, Mary Lou,
Marianne.
Marianne.
That one because I was like, oh, the skipper too.
Yeah. Something Sabrina and Gabby.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Peggy.
Let's call her Nespresso. I don't know. I have no idea.
Sure.
There's too many names thrown out.
Peggy Sue. We'll call her.
Okay, we'll just
Right. Yeah.
friend 1, friend 2. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't care what you actually call